Welcome to a new video. In this video we will show the determination of water retention of cement according to BSN 413-2. Definition. Water retention of the mortar is the mass of water retained in the mortar after the suction treatment and is expressed as a percentage by mass of its original water content. Water retention of mortar refers to the ability of the mixture to retain water after it has been mixed. A mortar with good water retention will be workable for a longer period of time, allowing for easier application and better bonding of the building blocks.
Now determine the consistence of fresh mortar by plunger apparatus.
Apparatus. Plunger apparatus for measuring consistence. 1. Base plate 2. Support 3. Holder 4. Guide bushes 5. Release mechanism 6. Aluminium measuring rod, scale with 1 mm graduations. 7. Plunger 8, container, with drip protection. 1 rigid mold, of 101 mm internal diameter and 25 1 mm internal depth. 2 metal straightedge. 3 mass, 2 kg. 4 rigid plate, non-porous, 110 5 mm diameter, 5 1 mm thick. 5 cotton gauze or non-woven tissue 1, 2 circles, 110 1 mm diameter or 2 squares of 110 1 mm side. 6 balance, with a capacity of at least 2 kg and capable of weighing to 0.1 gram. 7 filter paper, 8 circles, 110 1 mm diameter of 180 grams per square meter to 200 grams per square meter dry paper. Each circle having a nominal thickness of 0.40 mm and having a nominal particle retention size of 6 micrometers. Discard all used filter papers. 8 palette knife, with a blade 150 mm to 200 mm long and 20 mm to 30 mm wide. Now determine the consistence of fresh mortar by plunger apparatus. Weigh 450 gram of cement and place into the bowl. Mixer. Add water and sand automatically. Then add a quantity of water to cement and taking care to avoid loss of water. Take the weight of water added. Immediately the water and cement are brought into contact, start the mixer at the low speed for 30 seconds. Add the sand steadily during the next 30 seconds. Take the weight of sand added. Switch the mixer to the high speed and continue the mixing for an additional 30 seconds. Stop the mixer for 90 seconds. During the first 30 seconds, remove by means of a rubber or plastic scraper the mortar adhering to the wall and bottom part of the bowl and place in the middle of the bowl. Continue the mixing at the high speed for 60 seconds. Immediately after mixing has been completed, fill the container in 2 layers immediately after completing the mixing procedure. Compact each layer with 10 light strokes of the tamper strike off the excess mortar, within 1 minute of completion of mixing. By a gentle sawing action using the straight edge held at an angle of about 45 degrees. Then at a slightly flatter angle smooth the surface in a single direction in the reverse direction. After placing the container on the base plate, release the plunger from its initial position, 150-15, second after the completion of mixing and determine the value of penetration into the mortar by reading the scale. A value of penetration of 35.3 m is required for the mortar to be of standard consistence. If the penetration is higher than 35, repeat the sample with decreasing the amount of water, and if the penetration is lower than 35, repeat the sample with increasing the amount of water. Now, having completed the consistence test, remix the mortar remaining in the mixing bowl on low speed for 15 seconds and then carry out the water retention test. Should the time interval between the commencement of mixing and the start of the suction period of the water retention test exceed 10 minutes, then a fresh batch of mortar shall be prepared. Weight the empty mold. Fill the mold with the mortar in about 10 increments using the end of the palette knife until the mortar is slightly above the edge of the mold. Strike off the excess mortar by a gentle sawing action using the straight edge held at an angle of about 45 degrees. Then at a slightly flatter angle smooth the surface in a single direction in the reverse direction. Weigh the mold and its contents. Weigh the 8 circles of unused filter paper. Cover the surface of the mortar with the 2 pieces of cotton gauze and place the 8 circles of filter paper on top of the gauze. Place the non-porous plate on top of the filter papers, invert the mold onto a flat surface and place the 2 kg mass on the inverted base of the mold. For 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, remove the 2 kg mass, re-invert the assembly, remove the rigid non-porous plate, filter papers and the cotton gauze. Weigh the filter papers after absorption. Calculation. According this equation can determine mass of water present in sample where U is the mass of the empty mold, in grams. W is the mass of the mold and its contents, in grams. Y is the mass of the water used to produce mortar having a penetration of 35.3 m, in grams. And according this equation can determine water retention present in sample where V is the mass of the 8 filter papers before absorption, in grams. X is the mass of the 8 filter papers after absorption, in grams. Z is the mass of water present in the mortar before absorption, in grams.